you all shared with me that you thought the number of green, what are those called? Pentagons is increasing by 1 after every time we have a blue pentagon. So raise your hand if you can tell me what you think today's calendar piece is going to look like. A blue pentagon. You are correct. Okay. So I think we're pretty confident in the fact that we're correct on our pattern. Usually all the other months we've been able to figure out our pattern pretty quickly by like day 3. This one we had to wait for like a week to figure out what our pattern was. We started out blue, green, blue, green, green, blue, green, 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 blue, green, 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 green. So the number of green is increasing by 1 every time. Okay? Predict how many green ones we're going to have this time. Think we're going to have 5? Okay, we'll find out next week. Since today is the 15th, how much money are we adding to our depositor today? How much money are we adding today since today is the 15th of April? Yes? We're multiplying by 1,000. So take this number and add 3 zeros. What would that be? 15,000. Okay? How do I make 15,000? How do I make 15,000?
5 thousands and 1 10,000.
5 thousands. Do we agree on that? And 1 10,000? Okay. One, two, three, four, 5. Since we're starting out with no thousands, we're not going to have to do any regrouping. Okay, let's double check our 10,000s. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. So we don't have to do any trading there. So, since the beginning of school, we have gotten $275,773. All right? Someone raise their hand and tell me what this number is rounded to the nearest 10,000. Nearest 10,000. Okay, nearest 10,000. 280,000, was that what the rest of you were thinking? Okay, so let's go through this for those of you that maybe might have been thinking something different. Find your place, look next door, 5 or greater, add 1 more. This is 5 or greater. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So this is going to go up 1. All digits in front,
Stay the same.
all digits behind.
Stay the same.
We have 4 digits here, so we need 4 zeros. So that's how we got 280,000. Make sense? Okay. Then, let's see. We have also been talking about our coin counter. Today is the 139th day of school. How can we make $1.39 using the least number of coins and bills possible? If you were going to receive $1.39, how would you want to receive it so you didn't have a pocket full of 39 pennies? Yes.
$1 bill, 1 quarter, 2 nickels,
So let me stop you there for a second. Can you combine those 2 nickels to make something?
a dime,
Okay, so we got a quarter and a dime.
4 pennies.
Okay, is that what the rest of you were thinking? Okay, that's the least number. Okay, what's another way? What's the next way using the least number of bills and coins?
$1 bill, a quarter, 2 nickels, and 4 pennies.
Okay. Is there another way? One more way. There's actually more than 3 ways, but we're just going to talk about 3. We're going to find the 3 least. using the least number of bills. Yes?
$1 bill, 3 pennies, a nickel, and 4. No. $1 bill, 3 dimes, a nickel, and 4 pennies.
Okay, so there's 30 cents, 35 cents, and 39. Now, there are some other ways to make $1.39, but we're just going to talk about 3 of those ways. That's okay. All right. We have also been talking about our fractions and different ways to write fractions, especially now since we're over 1. I'm going to shade in another section of our fractions. And raise your hand when you can tell me what today's fraction looks like. What does today's fraction look like? Yes? Okay, so Destiny's thinking that it's 1 and 3/12. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Because we have one circle here, 3/12 of another one. And she called it 1 and 3/12. Does anybody have a different way to represent this fraction? Because there's nothing wrong with this, but there's more than one answer. Okay?
It's called an improper fraction. It is 15/12.
15/12. And she called that an improper fraction because normally when we see a fraction, the smaller number's on top, but in this case, the larger number's on top. Okay, so that's why it's called improper. What kind of fraction is this one called? Everybody tell me that knows. A mixed fraction or a mixed number. Okay? All right, the last thing we're going to talk about today is our decimals. Just a little bit. We've been looking at decimals, and what does this square represent? The entire square all together. Well, it has 10 in it, but 10 is equal to, in this case, 1. Okay, so this whole square is 1. All right, and we're going to only focus on what is shaded. Obviously, is the whole thing shaded?
No.
So do we have 1?
No.
So we need to find what this is because it's less than 1. So we're going to show it as a fraction and as a decimal. Okay? Now, you just told us that there's 10 in here, right? So there's 10 total. How many of them are shaded? 1. Thank you. How do I say that? How do I say that? 1/10. Okay? But I can also write this as a decimal. Okay? This is what place value?
1.
It's the ones place. Do I have a whole square shaded?
No.
No, so I don't have any ones. But I do have part of 1 shaded. I have how many of these tenths shaded? 1. So I'm going to represent that by writing a 1 in the tenths place. And I can read this as 0 and 1/10 or just 1/10. Okay? Questions on that? Okay, we're going to stop there for today. What I need for you to do is to quietly walk back to your seat.
Maybe we can't go to your secret here. I'm kind of like stuck.